Does life imitate art, or does art imitate life?
Three people are dead, including a gunman, after he opened fire near an In-N-Out burger in Idaho, USA.
What the shooting at In-N-Out?
I'm like, get in that. How are you gonna get out of there? You're backed up in traffic.
People are dead ass shooting at In-N-Out right now. People are running and everything. Look at them. They running. They running. Hey, yo. They running.
Still shooting.
Oh, dude, they shooting up.
Hell yeah.
What the f? Yeah, that's an AK.
Oh, hell yeah, he does. Look at this whack, you fucker. He got serious gun. Oh, now he's getting a oh.
You grabbing another gun.
Oh,
We grabbing something bigger.
we're getting the out of here.
You better get out of here.
What is happening?
What's happening?
People are running from In-N-Out. Call the police?
What's happening? What's happening?
What happened?
What's happening?
Now, again, I ask you, does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? Now, earlier this month in Twin Falls, Idaho, a gunman opened fire on the people in an In-N-Out restaurant. The scene was absolute chaos. 3 people were killed, 7 others were injured, and the shooter, a 24-year-old Chad Williams, was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? Another mass shooting. Unfortunately, we've seen this before, but when you look at from the footage from that day, you can compare it to Uwe Boll's 2009 film Rampage. The parallels are genuinely shocking. All right, so welcome back to the Beans and Greens. Just a revisiting of movie Rampage. Now, I'm Steve, and again, like I said, we're going to revisit that movie Rampage. Okay, now it's not just as a film, but it's something that early foreshadows what we just saw in Idaho. All right, so let's get into what we saw. Now, as we see the footage says, and let me give props to Till House Publishing. I was looking for footage everywhere, and it's all edited everywhere, so I got like the actual footage that I needed. And again, it's just to draw those correlations between the movie. Now, August 1st, 2026, gunmen opened fire on a newly opened In-N-Out burger in Twin Falls, Idaho. Now, it was a busy Saturday afternoon, and hundreds of people were in the area eating, shopping, and going to the movies. Now, witnesses described the shooter as a young white male wearing a black t-shirt and carrying what looked like an AR-style rifle. He was seen firing into traffic, shooting through the drive-thru window, and targeting people at random. But here's the unsettling part. The video scene that shows the shooter going back and forth to his car, he sees exiting a white vehicle, open the door, the driver's side, then the trunk, reaching his side for what appears to be additional weapons, right? That exact detail is in Rampage. In the movie, Bill Williamson returns to his vehicle multiple times during his rampage, grabbing different guns as he moves through town. And then, of course, there's the police response, or lack thereof. Now, in the film, of course, Bill takes out local police station with a car bomb before he starts his rampage. So obviously that's why no cops showed up. It makes sense for the movie, but in Idaho, in real life, the police arrived to a chaotic scene. Now, and according to officials, it was an armed citizen, a bystander with a handgun, who actually engaged the shooter and forced him to take cover. And they say he's an off-duty state trooper, or might have been another off-duty state trooper that also opened fire along with the citizen. I guess we'll find that out a little bit further on. Now, of course, that didn't happen in the movie, but of course, the movie is supposed to be, fantastic, and shit's supposed to work out for the actual protagonist. So, now, of course, if it hadn't been for the citizen with the gun, there would have been way more people dead. Now, as far as the movie Rampage goes, the main protagonist, his name was Bill Williamson, right? So let's go into him for a second. So as we talk about the movie Rampage, which again was directed by Uwe Boll, he's a director known for terrible video game adaptation, but this one, where the critics shockingly called this his best film. I mean, like I said, just the pure audacity of the movie is it's hard to look away from. Now, the protagonist, and of course I use this loosely, is Bill Williamson, right, played by Brendan Fletcher. Bill is a 23-year-old, and he lives with his parents, and he works in a dead-end mechanic job. He hates his life, he hates society, and he believes overpopulation is the root of all the world's problems. Again, how do we make a terrorist, or a homemade terrorist, or homegrown terrorist? Hates society, believes overpopulation, works a dead-end job, hates life. So, Bill Williamson, he builds a full body suit, a full body Kevlar armor suit, right? It's a suit made of Kevlar armor. And he stockpiles weapons, and one day he just snaps and drives a bomb into the police precinct, blows it up, and then begins going on his rampage, as we see in the movie. Now, he walks through town shooting anyone in his path, and he kills his boss, he kills the coffee shop girl, he kills a lot of different people, right? And the one, of course, was most crazy and very, very really sort of dark and I guess in a comedic way, is the scene where he goes to the bingo hall, and the senior citizens in there didn't give a shit about him. They just saw him in there, and it's like, yo, whatever. And he said he eats a sandwich, and he even plays a little bit of bingo with them and shit, and nobody gives. I think it's after he leaves the bingo hall, they realize, yo, this fool had a gun and armor, but at the time. Now, of course, in the movie, Bill Williamson, the protagonist, because he gets away, right? And he frames on his friend, also killing him, making it like a suicide. Now, in the movie, he stole some money. Now, of course, I did go over all of this in the other podcast. So just giving sort of brief overview, just to sort of go, just to give some background. But the main reason for this is just to show sort of the parallels, right? So again, art imitating life. Now, if we switch over to the actual shooter, right? And we take a genuinely disturbing look at the shooter, Chad Williams, right? He's the Idaho shooter, right? And you can look at Brendan Fletcher, which is his name, as Bill Williamson, right? They look eerily similar. Same build, same age range, same kind of face. Even the way they look is so similar. That's why I wanted to show that footage from Taylor House Publishing because that's the only one I could get the full video unedited. Now, the details of Rampage and the shooter going in and out in his car are for different weapons. That's from the movie. But it also happens that the actual shooter does the same thing. Sort of the long, drawn-out nature of the attack where police don't immediately stop it, that's also from the movie. And again, that's what happens in real life. So you have the shooter that looks like Bill Williamson from the movie in every aspect, even the way he moves in and out of his car in respect to everything else that's going on. It's the same. Then the long drawn out response from the police, which allows this person to do more damage. Now, of course, I'm not saying that Chad Williams watched Rampage and copied it, right? Now, I don't know his motivations, and of course, the police are still investigating it. But when you see these parallels, you have to ask the question: does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? And when a movie depicts something this specific, and then it happens in real life, what does that say? What does it say about us and our culture, right? And about the kind of messaging we're consuming. Now, of course, Rampage was released in 2009, and in one review a critic wrote, the film feels like a warning. It's a warning about society so distracted and it doesn't notice the threat right in front of it. Now, of course, the bingo hall scene isn't just dark comedy, it's a metaphor for all of us. So distracted by our phone, by our entertainment, by our daily routines, that we don't see the danger that's in front of us. And we don't see it until it's too late. So, what does that leave us in this grand scheme of things? Rampage, the movie itself, was a cautionary tale or dangerous blueprint, right? It's kind of a bit of both, right? It's a bit of a cautionary tale, and it is a dangerous blueprint that time and time and time again has been followed. Now, Uwe Boll's film is deeply cynical, right? It shows a mass murderer getting away with it, and in the sequels, Capital Punishment and President Down, Bill becomes a revolutionary figure, sparking a civil war. Now, the message is dangerous, but maybe that's the point. Maybe the message is that the society is already broken, and we're just waiting for someone to pull the trigger. That statement can also be applied to another movie by Uwe Boll. What is that? Citizen Vigilante. It is the same. That same sentence can be applied. Is society broken, or are we waiting for someone to pull the trigger? Now, in the meantime, innocent people die, right? A restaurant employee in Twin Falls, just doing her job, was killed. 7 others wounded, and even the shooter dead by his own hands. Now, what we need to think about and take away from this, again, you can ask that question: does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? And the whole idea of the Beans and Greens series is that entertainment isn't just about wasting time and sort of just making it through the day and making you feel good. Entertainment is about entertaining these thoughts, these ideas, and it shapes society and shapes what society is going to be. And each time I bring up one of these movies, it sort of draws, not only does it draw parallels against to actual life, and none better than what's going on But it draws those parallels. But then each movie is connected to one another. Each movie I've picked in this series, right? It all connects. So not only are there patterns that you see in real life from the movies, but then you also see the connections. You see the threads that combine them all. And yeah. Day is long, the sun is hot. Might as well smoke if you got some pot. I'm out.